I don't know where I am. I have no idea what this is. I am boat sick. I feel really groggy. I don't like the sea. And this is, yeah. Worst thing about this is I think someone's going to come and get me. Don't know who, don't know when, don't know what time. All I know is eventually I'm going to get found out that I'm here and I need to get out of here quickly. So, how about a game review?
Ys VIII, Lacrimosa of Dana is an action role-playing game developed by Nihon Falcom and published by NIS America as part of the series. It's first released in Japan by Falcom for the PlayStation Vita, and in July 2016 nonetheless, with a worldwide release on PlayStation 4, Microsoft Windows, and also the Nintendo Switch, which was the following year later. The series is a long-running action-orientated RPG that grew to fame thanks to its engrossing cinematic storytelling and amazing soundtrack. The game spans over 30 years of storytelling, moving from generation to generation. The gameplay evolved from genre to genre, giving the player a new experience whilst maintaining the series' core storytelling elements.
What could have gone wrong? How could Blue Peter steer me wrong? You know, I should have been transported home. I don't understand how I got the coordinates wrong. I don't even know where I am.
Ys VIII Lacrimosa of Dana is the newest entry in this series and gives a player a new and rather memorable experience. The game begins with a long-time hero Adal and his friend Dogi as they are passengers on a ship when out of nowhere the vessel is attacked by a gargantuan sea monster. Adal wakes up to find himself in a mythical island of Ysseries, a supposedly cursed land in which no person has ever returned. Your goal in the game is to navigate through the land with a party of other survivors and build a community while figuring out what the heck is going on. However, ancient beasts that live on this island are not pleased with human intrusion, and deeper secrets behind the island are waiting to be uncovered.
So I'm not the only one who has no idea where he is, of course. Our titular character needs to figure out what exactly is going on, especially with his memory loss. And, yeah. At least I wasn't lying about the pirates, even though it was just like a small little tidbit to the game. It's not like the Assassin's Creed games where you actually get to pilot a ship, but it does have a good range of RPG mechanics.
One of the many goals of the game is finding survivors in order to build a community, and is a unique feature of the game that extends game time and gives the player a new set of skills. If you're an Animal Crossing fan or Minecraft fan like I am, you can literally lose yourself in this portion of the game, wasting hours of game time in order to build and strengthen your community. And this also helps you handle new threats that emerge. The visuals are stunning, especially for the Nintendo Switch. There are some qualms in terms of graphical downgrade from the PS4 version in terms of comparisons, but to me, I really didn't have an issue with it. It's a trade for the game's portability, as you can play it in 1080 or your native 720 if you're playing it in portable mode.
Yeah, this isn't really helping, is it? That's just anxiety. It's kind of getting through the roof. You know what, let's just continue with the review, because I really feel like I'm going to be sick.
The landscapes are still beautifully done, the landscapes are also colourful, and the dungeons are captivating to say the least. This will make you want to explore an open landscape and also will drive you to want to just take it all in. The soundtrack is a mix of progressive rock and classical Ys elements, which is something that you probably will want to add to your iPod. As for the core RPG mechanics, the Ys stables are there. The action's fast-paced, it's easy to learn combat, and also the surprising amount of depth, chaining together the basic strikes and special attacks whilst using your teammates' weapons to exploit enemy weaknesses quickly. As you adapt and progress in your fighting style, you'll be able to utilize an ability which is called Flash Move and Flash Guard. These are special dodge and blocks attacks which, when executed with precise timing, gives you a huge advantage if done right. These skills come especially during game boss encounters, which have you battling against some of the truly strange and unusual island creatures. Default controls, however, are a little difficult to grasp, but you can remap them to your liking, so I wouldn't really worry too much about it, as it doesn't really hinder or spoil your enjoyment of the overall experience.
Maybe I'm in the 7 stages of hell. That's probably where I am. Trying to figure out where I need to be.
There are a few issues with inconsistent pacing, sometimes interruptions in terms of exploration, and also the long stretch of plot development, which is unavoidable as you sometimes tend to switch characters, but in terms of their story progression, it seems more like you're just playing through side quests. But it is unavoidable, so you will have to play through in order to complete the full narrative of the game. You also have the minigames that you cannot avoid and thus knocks you out of the story and sometimes causes frustration. The interception dungeon crawling missions are fairly optional, but the attraction is too strong due to the fact that you can grab some high level items and also raise your overall approval rating in terms of your community, which becomes a key element upon game completion. These issues are few and far in between, however, as the game has a lot of positives that outweigh the rather short list of negatives.
But that is kind of the price you pay for, well, playing this. It's one of those things where you get to sacrifice one little bit of quality for portability, and that's one thing this game does have. It's great, as with most Switch games, is the portability. The fact that you can actually play the game anytime you want, when you want, at any location. And for someone who's a freelancer like myself, it does make things a lot better. I think we're going to blow the man down, matey.
Now, as always, if you are a fan of this show, you'll know I'll give my games a rating between 1 and a 5, with 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. I give Ys VIII Lacrimosa of Dana a solid 4.5 out of 5. Yes, the game has some issues, but again, it doesn't hinder the overall quality, and with the rather large playtime and also diversity in gameplay, this game will give you something to slug through for the next month or so.
But I've not done anything bad in my previous life. You know, I didn't kill any sea lions and run over kittens. I didn't punch dogs in the face or fart on puppies. I don't understand, you know? I'd even send a hate mail to Donald Trump that I had piling up on my desk. This doesn't make sense. I don't understand how I ended up on this ship. I swear I put the right coordinates in.
Y'all genius.
Who said that?
Down here, bonehead.
Oh.
You see me now? I'm the onboard computer you built into your ship.
Who are you?
You'll find out soon enough, jackass.